Well, it's certainly not down. It's up. It's aligned overall at the front. Maybe move left. I'm looking at this here. Maybe move left a half an inch. We're hung up on the top. I think it's the sheathing, the decking of the roof is stuck on the top plate of this wall because it's kind of bowing out. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bolt through the studs with a forged eye bolt, and then I'm going to use a come along to just pull that wall in, and it should slide, and doom, this roof should sit down pretty well. On that, we'd made kind of a mess of the yard, which is the nature of the skid steer. It has to skid to steer, but I was able to weasel back here and mess with this. Here we got to move to our right maybe an inch according to that gap there, but overall I'm fairly pleased with it. So we're going to basically touch it up with a pry bar and a hammer and come along, and then we'll come back and see what it looks like when we get it dialed in good enough for this year as far as structurally. And then maybe we'll look at what we do in here for the chickens after that. And this is all moisture from having no roof on it. So I'd like to see that dry out. One issue we are going to have here that is just standard for these is they stop, because they build them in pieces like this, so they don't side them in one contiguous piece over that seam. They side the top and the bottom, and it comes together. It made it nice to be able to take it apart and move it, put it back together. But once we're final here, because this T111 is kind of bad, I will replace and sheath the whole end with long 8-foot pieces, and where the butt joints come together, I'll use some of that polyurethane roofing sealant, and then paint all of that in. And we use that here. It's black. We used it where the lap joints went on the new T111, which I didn't mind going to the eaves because that's all the longer it can be. We left the back and front because of that seam. We'll get everything straight away here. We'll get it on concrete, and then when we're ready, we'll pull all this old sheathing off and we'll put the new stuff on, and we probably will even cut the butt joints at a 45 degree so that where they come together, the top end grain or whatever of the sheet is down and out for water, you know, shedding, and we'll load it with that sealant, and then we'll paint it right over, and then we're going to get our eaves to come out and away from the building so the water drips down here instead of right into the end grain of that. And we're going to put rakes on that go up and then tip out like a widow's peak and go out, just to dress the whole thing up and make it look a little less like a couple $1,000 shed, make it look like a $12,000 shed.